What are you talking about? I voted for Biden and I voted for Obama. What are you talking about?
You didn't vote. Shut up.
You didn't vote in this last election because I guess you didn't think it mattered. Every election matters. You didn't vote in this last one. Arguably, the most consequential midterm election in modern history, you didn't vote. In fact, I've got a little song to that effect.
You didn't vote. Shut up.
I mean, if we're going to play devil's advocate, to Al's point, I mean, we haven't talked about that at all, and I don't know if you planned on talking about it, but when everything was going on with Trump, it was mentioned several times on the show.
By whom?
By us. We had talked about it a bunch of times when that was all going on. The raids and the papers, and he's a
Yes,
criminal
because he refused to give them back.
Right, but I mean...
This is going by the book. If they come out and they go, oh, my God, we found out so much stuff, I'm going to want to hear that.
Sure.
Again, I'm not in a cult being a Joe Biden voter.
I understand.
Right?
Neither am I.
They've appointed a special counsel, which is what you're supposed to do. They are accommodating them at every turn. That's different than Trump going, these are my documents. I'm not giving them up. They're not secured. I have them all over my house where foreign dignitaries walk around with camera phones and can do. I know Fox News is going to try to eat lunch on this for the next 15 years. It doesn't fly. It's not the same thing. If the special counsel goes, man, we found all this stuff, that's a whole other ball of wax. But that's 100% different than Trump going, I'm not giving these back. These are my documents, and I can do whatever I want to with them. That's a completely different thing.
Okay.
It is. So I get the point Al's trying to make.
Where he shouldn't have had him in the first place. Neither of them should have had him in the first place.
But do you understand neither of them should have had him in the first place. But when they said to Biden, hey, you're not supposed to have these, he goes, oh, take them.
Yeah.
They said to Trump, you're not supposed to have these. Trump goes, no, I'm keeping them. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
If Trump had said, oh, my God, I had no idea, it wouldn't have even been an issue. Would not have been an issue. It became an issue because he's a criminal. And people are like, well, what are you going to do with these? No. They're mine, whatever I want. Well, they're not yours, you know. So
it's under investigation.
Yes, which it should all be. Which it should all be.
What isn't going to happen?
I can't say anything. I didn't vote.
You didn't vote.
We make that not just about politics.
In general.
Fine. Go ahead, sheeple.
Sheeple.
Sheeple, this guy. All right, listen. Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. You do whatever you want to do with it. Somebody goes, hey, give me that $1,000 back. No way, it's mine. You'll never hear us doing that to you. So listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword PAY at WMMS.com. That's PAY. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
You can leave us messages, by the way. You don't have to call. I like when you call. I like to talk to you in person. You can leave us messages on the iHeartRadio app. We'll talk back button there.
Hey, it's Andrew from Orlando. I just wanted to thank you guys. I completed the Dopey Challenge at Disney World, which is a 5K on Thursday, 10K on Friday, half marathon Saturday, and a full marathon on Sunday. And I played your podcast during the half and full marathon. It got my mind off the run, and you guys just cracked me up during it. So thank you very much, and keep it going.
Dude, good job. That's crazy.
So much. That's so
a
much.
lot of running.
It's
over 5 miles.
It is over 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
The Dopey Run, what's it called? In Orlando. Andrew is one of our bureau chiefs in Orlando. Yeah. So you run I got to hear that again.
Hey, it's Andrew from Orlando. I just wanted to thank you guys. I completed the Dopey Challenge at Disney World.
The Dopey Challenge. You do a 5K, a 10K, a half, and then a full marathon in 4 successive days.
That is different than the Dope Challenge that's going on in Florida, which is devastating.
Nobody wins. Nobody wins that one.
Well, yeah.
But you don't care that you lost.
True. Well, I was going to say that really, I'm very ambivalent about that because you know how I feel about adults.
I knew I was going to wait and say.
Going to Disney World.
You, and he's running. He's an active guy.
It puts me in a difficult position.
Also, we don't know that he doesn't have kids there.
Well,
his wife could have been with his kids the whole time, and he's doing the run.
But I assume this is also something that's probably independent of going to Disney World. Like, you could probably sign up for this and do it. And I don't know. I don't know anything about
I don't
it.
know either.
But if Andrew in Orlando is walking around, no kids, Mickey Mouse ears on his head, I got a problem with that. But
He's
it's kind
active?
of, yes, that's great. I can't take that away from him. There's nothing bad I can say about that. But speaking of dopey, I want to introduce you to a couple people. Now, one of them doesn't have a name, but the other one's name is Errol Martin. He's a 30-year-old guy. This is a story down there in Florida, the Ohio of the South. And he's accused of shooting another guy after the other guy performed oral sex on him. So
That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Rude.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. That is what that is my worst nightmare. Sorry.
literally.
I'm scared. These straight boys ain't the same no more. They're not the same.
Let me lay this out for you. The victim told officers, because they declined to name the victim, the victim told officers that he met Errol Martin, who was riding a bike as the victim drove through a Florida town during the early morning hours, and that Martin agreed to have oral sex with him. It's an odd way to put it, instead of on him. So this guy's in his car, sees a guy on a bike, rolls down the window. I'm trying to piece this together as they explain it. Rolls down the window and goes, "Hey,
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think
No,
about
That's
this?
not how it happened.
You tell me that."
I understand that's how it's written, but this is totally like undercover DL gay stuff.
Well, then clue me in.
They've totally met on an app. This was arranged. It's called cruising. So one guy meets up one.
Well, no, I know what that is, but that's like,
It's not mentioned.
Cruising USA is a very
it's not
popular
mentioned.
game, arcade game in the 2000s.
well, let me just read this to you, and then you
Translate.
You decipher it for me, okay? The victim followed Martin, who was on his bike, to a bus stop. Then they drove to an undisclosed location to perform the sex act. Afterwards, Errol Martin, the guy who went down on the dude, began to act weird toward him and make him feel uncomfortable. They then drove back to where his bike was at the bus stop. The victim sent him money on Cash App.
See,
So the guy in trouble then asked the victim for more money, but he said he didn't have any more money. So he shot the man multiple times and then hid in a nearby bush. They said that the Cash App account was Errol Martin's sister's Cash App account.
DL stuff, man.
What do you put in the note line, though?
Just a winky face.
Smiley
Oral,
face.
like an
Yeah.
eggplant or,
And drip. Yeah, like raindrops. Mm-hmm.
Signing documents.
signing documents.
Yeah, you
all
got
up in a...
Pen and paper.
So,
Lettuce. You put a little lettuce in there.
So decipher that for me.
So it sounds like to me, and obviously it's not going to be reported, and that's by design because all the stuff is on the DL. They've either met online. It might be back in the old days, like it was Craigslist, and then Grindr was created. Whatever app they did, this was arranged. You don't want to make it. You want to make it look like, oh, you just happen to meet up. This is one guy drives a car, another one, he's like, oh, I frequent this street on my bike all the time. No, it's really dead. No one's ever really there. So I'm going to drive past there, peep the scene, and then I'll meet you at a local bus stop. So he met at the bus stop to try and, see if the guy was there. And then if he's interested, because people want if I see you and I don't like what I'm into, if you're not what I'm into, then I'm just going to drive on. So he was interested. He got in the car, and then they decided a location together. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about, because you can, up until the point, he had the post-pop, senses. After
Clarity.
Yeah, the post-pop clarity. After that
The
happens,
regret.
Yeah,
He regretted all of it.
that is what I'm terrified of, because people.
Because it says he sent him money on Cash App, and then he asked him to not speak about it happening.
Yep, that's literally what it is. People will.
Well,
will say,
you're not doing that. This guy had one request that we don't talk about, and here we all are talking about
He
it.
let his gun do the talking for him.
because it's just like that. I feel bad for that, because I guarantee the guy who shot him was the guy that was seeking it out. He was like, I want to try this. He was like, I'm going to go seek it out. I'm going to send the message. I'm going to initiate it all the way through. And then once you do it and you like, what have I done? There's no going back now. He's going to talk. I know he's going to talk. The only way to keep him from talking is to shut him up. and it will.
So I get a little confused in this. Who performed this stuff?
The guy now being accused of attempted murder was the performer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he probably.
It said he was already in custody on unrelated charges, but he was on parole or something.
Performer was the
performer
shooter.
is, in Cody's story, the performer is a DL straight guy.
He probably wanted to. He was like, I never got to S&D, or I've never.
It seems
Never
like he
got
just
to.
needs money. He probably is
That's
a drug
what I
addict.
thought.
Yeah.
He probably needed a fix
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
needed money.
Yes, but he still now has that hanging over his
Well, why
head.
not get cash instead of Cash App?
Anyway,
Because he doesn't have
Sisters.
cash, he's using his sister's. Or was the other Errol was using his sister's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a wild
yeah.
story.
But yeah, it's all DL stuff. Because up until the point where you do it, after that it's too late, and now they.
So
can't
what
go
are
back.
you worried about when you're out in those streets?
Well, like
getting shot.
the straight dudes that hit me up, it's kind of like the same scenario. They're like, I've never been with a guy. I'm really interested. You're really cute. I'm on it. And then now this hasn't happened to me, but this is where my paranoia sets in. Like I've been lucky thus far. It only takes one person to ruin things. And I was just trying to help.
I was just trying to help. I'm just trying to help you.
He's helpful, Brown.
Yeah. What do you mean reload?
Yeah. So, and after they finish, then all of a sudden they're like, dude, that's not my thing. I don't like that at all. Like they want to try it.
But you're like, what?
I don't like that
Seemed
at
like
all.
you liked it a lot.
That's what I think. It's kind of like they don't like the fact that another guy has something hanging over their head. Like if it's a gay dude, he has no shame, so of course he's going to talk about it. And if it's another DL straight dude,
Guarantee neither of them have mutual friends. He's a guy in the street.
it's not the point.
What do you have over somebody then?
There's still someone out there that knows your dirty little secret, and they can hold it against you.
But how? If you'll probably never see them again.
He has your Cash App.
Your sister's Cash
He's
App.
like, hey, tell your brother if he wants another, if he wants some more lettuce, he needs to pay me more. And then his sister would be like, huh? What are you doing, Brandon? What's the guy's name?
Errol Martin. Yeah, but he's the guy with the Cash App account. The performer is the one using his sister's Cash App.
Understandable, but,
Right.
but still. Then when I got a big load, I go put it in there. I don't know. People are into some stuff, and he probably just didn't want anybody to know. It just seems very odd.
That's probably why he was trolling the streets looking for guys on their bikes in the early morning hours in his car.
Street meat is so different. Like that. That's old timey.
Oh, that's a big load.
There's so many apps and stuff now where you could get it instantaneous. It's really dangerous because there's STDs. If these people are on the streets, like they might be dirty. People don't do that that way anymore. You can, but it's rare.
You still get done dirty.
And it's dangerous because you get shot.
This is why Florida sucks.
Well, there you go. Well, just be careful when you're out there, whether you're on the DL, whether you're down low or up high. Just be careful when you're out there.
At least you're smart enough not to host.
Yeah, come over to hey, you want to come over to my bus stop? My car or yours?
Come to my bus
Bus
stop.
stop. I got a break. If you want to text 35192 to get me there, AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch, listen wherever you are on that iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.